If you feel lost in the middle of a crowd, you are not alone. You are actually exactly where you need to be, because that noise, those superficial laughs, those empty conversations, they are all proof of your alienation. Schopenhauer saw this 2 centuries ago. He whispered a brutal truth. The price of intelligence is loneliness, and this is not a choice but an inevitable fate. In Schopenhauer's eyes, people were porcupines. They huddle together to avoid freezing from the cold, but their spines prick each other. Those who fail to keep that distance, who endure the pricks, are the ordinary ones. But you, your spines are sharper. They prick, they unsettle. People distance themselves from you because your very existence threatens their comfortable lies. While they seek warmth, you seek the cold, metallic taste of truth. Schopenhauer summarized it thus: the intelligent man's most uncomfortable place in the world is among foolish crowds. Why? Because what the ordinary person needs, approval, belonging, mind-numbing fake cheerfulness, is poison to you. You seek depth. You question meaning. Staying on the surface suffocates you. As Schopenhauer put it, ordinary people spend life in amusement. The intelligent try to understand it. That very effort to understand pulls you away from the crowd. While they talk about a soccer match, you ponder the absurdity of existence. While they ask, "How are you?" and ignore the answer, you search for the answers lost in the depths of a person's eyes. At this point, one must ask themselves, why do I imprison myself in the voids created by crowds? Why do I hate crowds so much while simultaneously fearing loneliness so intensely? This paradox is a painful thing that intelligent and highly aware people constantly struggle with. So is this loneliness a curse? Schopenhauer would agree, yes, it is painful, but it is also a liberation, because being lost within a crowd is far less freeing than being alone in the depths of your own mind, chained to a false community. Schopenhauer emphasized this. Loneliness is the fate of great minds and their refuge. That emptiness you feel in crowded halls is the door to your true universe. There, alone, you hold real dialogues with life itself. There, the ideas for which people ostracize you as weird become the wings that set you free. But beware, society will try to present your loneliness as a weakness, a flaw. They will pressure you to socialize. They will whisper, "Be normal." Schopenhauer was ruthless in defining this trap. The mask society imposes on you is a shroud drawn over your mind. They want to pull you into shallow waters because your depth frightens them. Your questioning threatens their unexamined assumptions. That is why they accuse you of your loneliness. Yet the guilty party is not your loneliness, but their thoughtless togetherness. At my last job, when a group took me in, they first struggled to reach my level. They read books, watched films, wanted to have deep conversations with me, but when they saw the gap between us was too wide to close, manipulation and pressure began. First, they tried to pull me down to their level. When that failed, they started backstabbing. And finally, through an orchestrated scheme, when my guard was down, they succeeded in getting me fired. I drew this lesson from the event. Schopenhauer's porcupines were right. We were like porcupines huddling together on that cold winter day. My spines, my deep questioning, my standards, my intellectual hunger had initially warmed and excited them. They burned with the question, how do we reach this level? Books, films, conversations, all were to take my warmth, to heat their own dull existences. But as they got closer, they started getting pricked. As Schopenhauer said, man needs warmth, but if he gets too close to someone who has spines, he gets pricked. My spines, my habit of speaking truth directly, my intolerance for superficiality, my rebellion against unproductive meetings pricked their comfortable lies, their complacent mediocrity. Instead of rising to my level, they tried to drag me down into the mud where they were. They tried to pass off their gossip as team spirit, their lack of vision as realism, their intellectual laziness as practical smarts. When that didn't work, the manipulation began. As Schopenhauer warned, The ordinary person, if he cannot destroy the superior one, tries to taint him. Gossip, ignored ideas, backstabbing. It was all an effort to taint me, to make me ordinary. They were afraid. My existence meant their comfortable mediocrity was being questioned. That orchestrated scheme, that moment when my guard was down, was their final move. Getting me fired wasn't a defeat, but in Schopenhauer's words, the revenge of shallowness, born of fear against depth. So what did this painful experience teach me? Schopenhauer's most brutal truth. The distance between the intelligent man and the crowd is the price of his existence. If I had filed down my spines to fit in with them, I would have betrayed myself. If I remained myself, loneliness and attack were inevitable. The choice was never about winning, it was about choosing an honorable defeat over a fake victory. Now I understand that moment of being fired was a liberation that freed me from the poison of their small world. As Schopenhauer said, sometimes losing is the only way to truly win, especially when what you lose is a weight dragging you down. So to you, who feel alone in the crowd, do not apologize for your spines. Those you prick are actually feeling the pain of their own shallowness in your presence, your being fired, your exclusion, the lies told about you. These are not proof of your weakness, but proof that they cannot withstand your light. Remember Schopenhauer's advice: the superior spirit finds true companions not in the noise of the ordinary crowd, but in the silence of his own inner being. Those porcupines pricked you, but remember, if you have spines, you are never just a porcupine, you are a firebrand carrying your own fire, and no wind, not even the breath of those who want to use you to warm themselves, can extinguish it. This is why, in those moments when you feel lost in the crowd's noise, remember this: your loneliness is not a lack, but a chosen depth. Schopenhauer's porcupines were a warning to you. You cannot endure the warmth of shallowness by filing down your spines. Your being fired via that orchestrated scheme was the moment when mediocrity tried to swallow you, but instead, weighted by truth, you surfaced. Remember, those who live in shallow waters fear the darkness of depth. Your loneliness is the fuel for the torch you light to pierce that darkness. As Schopenhauer said, the man who has little to call his own in the outside world has the more within him. Within that inner kingdom of yours, among the true kin of books, philosophy, and art, you are never alone. While the crowd looks at you as weird, you are actually an explorer escaping the hell of shallowness to dive into the ocean of truth. So embrace your spines, because they are the only thing waking you from the universe's slumber.